Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, and welcome to this webinar of Meet the Global Leader. Today, we are honored to have with us Ms. Catherine, a highly respected professional with a unique background in veterinary science, journalism, and public health communication. So, she brings over 7 years of experience leading communication efforts at the World Organization for Animal Health. Currently, she works as a consultant, supporting global teams in navigating the complexities of risk and strategic communication across various sectors from local to international levels. We're going to know a lot about that. But the objective of this session is we're focusing on students who are currently studying at the university, so they are going to know a lot about professional work, lessons, skills that are needed, like in different tasks in professional sector, the entrepreneurial journey, like how to transform our career from professional into entrepreneurial sector. So Ms. Catherine, welcome to our session.
Thank you. Good morning to all. It's the morning here.
Yeah. If you just share a little bit about uh, your educational background and any extracurricular activities that shaped your skills and interests, that would be great.
Yes. Well, my student time was a long time ago now. It was 20 years ago, 25 nearly. I started my journey as a veterinarian. So I studied in the south of France, veterinary sciences. And I was very much I liked very much to ride horses. I was doing competition at that time, so obviously I became a veterinarian for horses, and I practiced it during 4 years before switching for personal reasons because I needed to go back to Paris. I switched for working as a policymaker in plant health. So it was not at all the same health focus, but in plant health, I had the chance to start working at the Ministry of Agriculture. Where I was dealing with creating an action plan on reducing pesticide use. Then I moved to journalism because I turned 30 years old. Then to communication director of the World Organization for Animal Health, exactly the communication head. And 4 years ago now, I've decided to stop this position and to start my own company, working to support some international organizations, but also some private companies, such as small companies, social companies, on their communication and more strategic and help communication. Tell
Great.
me
And
if you want
how?
me to precise
Yeah,
some of the
definitely.
parts.
So the basically, after graduation.
Yeah.
So when you started your professional career, so how was that journey? If you share about us, how did you start your career? What helped you to start your career? So if you just elaborate this.
When you go out from a veterinary school, your first focus is really I want to heal animals. So what helped me is to connect and discuss with professionals that were already working in the field. Um, to be honest, I think that at that time, what helped me a lot to find my first positions was really that I was very passionate by what I was doing, not really counting my hours. And I'm not sure it was a good thing, but I'm just saying that it was what was needed in this field of work. But it's also what this made me decide to change at some point after 4 years, because I decided that it was not the life I wanted. I did not want to stay out of town. I did not want to spend my nights waiting for the phone to ring and taking the car in the winter on the small roads to go to see horses. Even if I loved my job, I loved animals and the humans that are next to the animals and that you need to deal with. I think it was really a choice of type of life that guided my first switch of work. But what is fun, if you want, is that I started healing animals, realizing super quickly that you need to deal with the human and you need to somehow heal the humans to be able to heal the animals. And it's kind of the line of my professional journey, because I started working on the human health or human power to act on health pretty quickly, entering through the animal veterinary medicine part. But it's what is really the line between all the jobs I've been doing, helping the people to better understand how to achieve good health and how to take the adequate health decisions. I
Great. And
hope it.
how was your experience as a policymaker? Um, the skill set to have,
Yeah.
to be a good policymaker, or knowledge or research skill. What are the skills really necessary person should have to be in that position as a policy, to work as a policymaker?
Yeah, when I was working at the ministry, so I was young, so I was not head of a unit or head of anything. I was the person who was writing the reports and shaping some theses and way to present proposals. And I think there were two skills that were super useful. First, to be able to listen to people, to listen behind the words, if I can say, to really try to connect what is the position of an actor, of a stakeholder, to broader topics and areas of work, in order to make sure that at the end you kind of come to a consensus in the way you present the proposals for the next steps. So here we were writing a national action plan for reducing pesticides in use in agriculture. So it's a big topic. We needed to have everybody around the table and to listen to all the positions so that we can have this diplomatic way to present things, find benefits for all of them in what we were proposing, and move people in the adequate direction. So I would say, as skills, being able to listen, to identify a common topic. You will put the adequate skills behind if you want. Listen, being able to understand what are the common benefits and objectives of people, how you can build on it, and being able to negotiate with them so that we can all move in the adequate direction.
In
And
that
it's a
in that
little bit, sorry, it's a little bit the same thing when you are dealing with the owner of a horse or a pet, a dog or a cat or whatever. You need to persuade the person that by doing some actions,
Yeah.
such as giving pills to the cat,
Yeah.
you will have a benefit.
Great. So in especially South Asian countries, or in particularly Bangladesh,
Mm-hmm.
so there is a misconception, which is if I did my major in marketing or
Mm-hmm.
finance, so I'll go in that direction, so related to that job. So but which is different in most of the countries. It's just because of these misconceptions, and students don't explore other
Yeah.
career prospects because their mind is limited. So the reason for saying this, you did your education in veterinary medicine, but you explored in different career paths, but it's
Yeah.
like it's like a impossible thing here to think like that. So like we are trying to find connections, because like there are some skills or mindset or knowledge. If you have those, it doesn't matter what was your major was or what did you study in university. So we're just trying to like find a connection. So in that case, do you like did you think that way when you were like like move to journalism? Like it's like interesting that like you explored different career paths. So what motivated you to explore the career of journalism?
Yeah. So first, I would like to say that I think that it's the same everywhere. I fully understand your point about your country, but here it's the same. When you are studying for veterinary medicine, you are not supposed to do anything else than doing veterinary medicine practice. I was maybe also the first surprise that I changed work and path pretty early in my career, actually. It happened because there was a need, to be honest, we need to have a salary at the end of the month. And in Paris, it was not easy to find a full-time job as a veterinarian. So it started like that. And then after, it was opportunities, being open to new experiences. And maybe I did not know it, but maybe also trusting that what I've learned when being a veterinarian could be useful somewhere else. I won't say that it was something I was very clear about when I experienced it, but by looking at the 20 past years, now I can say that it was maybe this freedom to think that it's possible. People I met also that trusted that it was possible for me to switch from one place to another, and trusting the fact that learning to take a decision, because when you are doing medicine, you are obliged to deal with life and death, also sometimes death. Sometimes you have health of an animal in your hands, and you need to deal with it. And you also have a pressure of the humans that are asking you to do your job and to do
Yeah.
it well. So what made me move is to believe that the type of skills I had learned in my first job could be useful, and also maybe that the only person who was not authorizing it was myself. So at some point, deciding that you can do it makes 80% of the work done. So yeah, and so I moved to journalism to answer to your question. Sorry, I moved to journalism because when I was working on the plant health and pesticides use and things like that, I wanted to help people to better understand the topic. That is a complex topic with lots of different impacts and way to look at the thematic, way to look at the solutions. So I wanted to have an opportunity to give to the population, to the wider population, a better understanding of the complexity of a topic, to help them to create their own decision and to have their own decision by helping them navigate a complex topic. And this is kind of always the same.
Yeah, there's
I was
a
doing it.
like, connecting dot.
Yeah. Yeah, you see the line.
Yeah, great. And like when it comes to communication, like people say, "Oh, we are communicating all the time. What is so special? Why should people, like dedicate a department or a role in communication?" So sometimes, like in most cases, it's not that easy, and it is communication is a very diversified and diverse, and at the same time it's like it's huge, because the way we see it, it's not like everyday communication.
Yeah.
So your role as a like a communication consultant, communication director, So if you share your lessons and skills that you developed working as in that sector, if you share with us, and how it is important, like for an organization, like to have a communication specialist.
Yeah. Um, I think the first thing that, or the main thing I've learned all these years is how much people, how much there is a lot of miscommunication, misunderstanding, because we are all coming with our different backgrounds, different way to understand the world, way to understand the words, way to understand concepts. Because it's based really on your culture, it's based on your professional path, personal path, family background, all these cultural, social, economical determinants that shape the way you understand a topic. When you speak about health, clearly, you can think that we are all humans, so we all have the same way to deal with health, but the variety of understanding of it, it's so huge that if you do not spend time to try to help people to understand each other and help people to understand what they are talking about, um, it's just, you can do all that you want in terms of policy, in terms of recommendations, settings, etc. It won't work because people won't grasp what you want them to grasp. Why? Because we kind of all are in our silos. You were talking about when you do some studies, you don't want to go outside, or you are not prepared to think that it's possible to switch career or to switch path. But again, it's only the silo in which you are putting yourself that is limiting you, because lots of the jobs requires skills that are soft skills. If you want to be a mathematical expert, yeah, for sure, you need to be good in mathematics, for sure. But for many other jobs, there is a part that you can learn throughout all your life. So what I've learned about communication is that, yeah, you need to make sure that people understand each other, and it works for the population at large, but it also works very much for scientific people, because when you are vet, you are not speaking the same language than physician. You are not speaking the same language than somebody who is working on the environment, uh, and you are dealing with the same topics at the end. So the time you need to spend to make sure that people connect their knowledge, understand each other, and speaks the same language at the end. And I'm not talking about Bangladesh and, and French. I'm talking about really understanding the same concepts is huge. And this is something that we, I think, too often forget. Yeah, so this, sorry, I'm coming back to your point about skills. And also, I want to just say that I think as women, we are less keen in allowing ourselves to learn along the way. I'm nearly 45 today, and I've realized that what I prefer in my life is to learn every day. I'm learning. Currently, I'm learning on ChatGPT, and so I'm enjoying learning about how to use this new tool, and this happiness to learn, happiness to develop new skills, happiness to connect with what is needed today to work is something that I think you need to cultivate. You need to all your life think that it's possible, and you need to keep enough time to be able to do it. So yeah, I hope it answers the question.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, this is very important because like if you don't read or continuously learn things, then on some day you hear that, oh, ChatGPT is coming, and so, oh, no more
Yeah.
jobs and stuff like that. But the thing that the chat, not ChatGPT, AI is very fascinating. It's interesting, and if like the point that you have mentioned, if I continuously learn things on a day-to-day basis, I will find it as a friend. I will
Yeah.
utilize it for
Yeah.
the betterment of myself or my community, stuff like
Yeah.
that. So this is the thing: when people stop learning and updating themselves,
Yeah.
they are afraid. So as talking about the fear, like your professional career seemed, like it's like a wonderful journey. You work for very great organizations, but like what made you, like you are on a, like journey on a bullet train, but what made you to, like got down from the train and start walking, to start your entrepreneurial journey? So what made you thought, that now it's time I start my own venture, and how how has been the journey so far?
You mean the last part of the journey, starting my
uh,
company,
uh
or
yeah, yeah,
since the
yeah,
beginning?
no, 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 your entrepreneurial journey. So
Yeah,
what
the last part.
motivated you? Yeah.
So first 7 year as head of communication in an international organization, it's long. It was wonderful. It was an amazing experience. I met amazing people. We did amazing thing with my team. Yeah, it was really amazing. But to be super honest, at some point I was very tired, and my health was not as good because I was not listening to myself enough. So you can speak kind of burnout. Yeah, I think I can say burnout. And so I was super tired and not well. So I stopped working at some point because my body was not. Was did not want to continue, and then arrived Mrs. COVID. Mrs. COVID-19 stopped the world, and it was kind of so everybody stopped, and at some point I say, okay, that's where I need to switch again. Even if I was not planning to, actually, I was planning to go back, but I feel okay. There is too much things that show that maybe there is something to be done here and to be done differently. And also, I think that it helped a lot because, for example, at that time, other international organizations were reaching out to me and asking me if I wanted to help them to develop some communication tools, strategies, things like that. So I saw an opportunity and I took it. Probably I was a little bit crazy. Let's be honest. Probably many times in my life, I've done things that people around who think that they need to stay safe or wants to have a salary at the end of the month and to be sure of it, etc. Probably they were looking at me as a mad person that was switching from a career to another one. But the fact that this little piece of craziness of being able to say, okay, it's possible, let's do it, let's get up and walk and change things, and always with lots of public health and public good will and driver, I can say. So how can I do to help differently and to continue to bring my little pieces of happiness and public good in different parts of the world. So believe in yourself, be a little bit crazy sometimes, and do not listen to people who want to stay safe. If you feel that you can do it, if you have a little thing that it's possible, go try and keep maybe a second choice opportunity in the back of your pocket, but believe in yourself and continue and work, and if you fail, you will have learned Actually, it seems obvious. A lot of people are saying it, but it's real. Even if some of the projects I've done did not work well, but always I've learned something, so I know that I can use it differently. And in your path is made of experiences, good and bad, and it helps you to become who you are. And if you stay yourself with good values, if you know where you are going, it's okay. I'll say that.
Right. And tell us in brief about Olelo, your
Yeah.
organization, and how it is creating impact in your community.
Olailo, so it's the name of my company. It means, in French, it means, it's the first letters of open your eyes, open your ears. So my idea when I created the company was to be able to work with leaders in different kinds of organizations to help them shape sustainable and fair communication based on values that are positive, socially and economically positive, to shape different world by listening and looking at things more than talking. We are in a very noisy information environment. There is a lot of information around with very variable qualities. So being able really to take a step back and to look at what is happening, to understand what you want to communicate, what you want to transfer to people, because communication, it's a transfer of knowledge, of opportunities, of lots of different kind of transfer that of recommendations when you talk about health. But how do you shape this information environment, which is more a more systemic way to look at things than only saying, I want to share this message or I want to go to this point. So to be able to do this, I needed to have a very clear path, working with leaders who can make the decision and who have this view of the importance of the information environment and shaping it so that it's a healthy, fair for people.
Great. And what do you think about like students who are currently in the
Mm-hmm.
universities?
Yeah.
Sometimes they're misguided because of lack of information available.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Most of them have no mentors.
Yeah.
So how do you see it, like as a professional point of view? Do you have any mentor, and how important it is to have mentor for students?
So I have a lot of mentors and no mentors. How to when I say that is that I've met a lot of people in my path. Nobody is perfect. There is no how do I won't say nobody. Yeah, nobody is perfect. Everybody is human, so they have their positive side and their downside. So I've worked with a lot of great professionals. What you need to do, I think, is to authorize yourself again, to give yourself the opportunity to connect with people. I'm a person which is at the end a little bit shy. I'm always afraid to connect with somebody. I know it can seem weird, but I thought, yeah, maybe they don't want to listen to me, or I'm not interesting enough to connect with this person. So first, if somebody does not want to speak with you, is because you don't have to speak with this person because it's not person which is interesting for you. So do not fear to connect to people, to ask them about their path. People like to speak about themselves. That's something human. So ask them questions. Try to understand how they have moved. And it's not always the people who are the most shiny on social media that are the most interesting to listen to. So yeah, believe in yourself, in the fact that you can always ask for a discussion or for an advice. Start by listening to the people and learning from what they are telling you. And what they are not telling you also, because it's always interesting to try to understand between the lines. And yeah, so mentors, you have a lot of them, and they are not always the most shiny, but try to listen to people and to understand what they have done. It will help you. And as a student, just believe in yourself and go where you think that you can make a difference, and help to make a difference. We have a lot of things to do in our world today, to fix it somehow. So it's if you think that you can, you can. It's already the first, the best part
So
of it.
definitely. So if we go beyond, like to few things based on your expertise to share with our audiences. Like sometimes there's so many information regarding public scientific information,
Yeah.
and most of the people, they avoid it because this, like, I don't understand. So how can organizations, how can, not organizations, or how can complex scientific information or complex information be effectively conveyed to the public while maintaining accuracy?
While maintaining what?
Accuracy.
Okay. So first, we are often, it's the same than the name of my company. We want to convey the information before we know which information we need to convey. Again, we are in a very noisy information environment, and when you take, for example, health recommendations, we often make the error that we want to say, for example, to people to vaccinate. So we tell them it's good for you, it's good for your health, or it's you need to do it to stay safe. And we often forget to listen to what are their questions, their concerns, what is their information, what are their information voids, that are making the narrative a little bit complicated to understand to them. And so instead of only pushing information to them, kind of top-down information, the listening part is super important, to be able also to bring an educational part in the story, to help people to have a better health literacy, for example, or better media literacy when you talk about news and misinformation, fake news, things like that. So it's really this two-way exchange that we need to learn better to put in place. It's super complicated to do it during a crisis. So it's an investment to be made in health peacetime. It's not always easy because there are lots of health crises around the world, but to establish the system so that people trust you, people listen to you, but because they know that you listen to them. And if you speak about equity, it's also how you will be able to detect people that are more vulnerable. When you speak about, for example, information environment, misinformation, fake news, disinformation, people that are the most vulnerable to it are people that have no good access to internet, for example, or they
Exactly.
have not good literacy, so they have difficulties to grasp the how they are manipulated by the information. Sometimes with a real intention of harm or by the people who are transmitting misinformation, but also sometimes just because it's misinformation without intention to harm, but it's just you are sharing an information that you feel looks like good, and at the end it's just wrong, but there is no intention to harm it. So to help people navigate in this, to help people have equally better understanding of the health information, we really need to be able to connect with the communities, with the different kind of communities, not only geographic communities, but different types of people, and listening to their needs and questions so that we can answer to theirs and avoid the misinformation to take the place that is left empty of good information. So when you don't know something, you are looking, in particular for the health, you are looking for an answer. So if the answer does not come from health authorities or from scientists, it will come from other sources, and most of the time it will come from misinformation or disinformation. And all this creates a narrative which is at the end could be harmful and could have very negative impact to health. On the health, sorry for my English. So listening, being able to put in place systems that helps you to understand what are the needs of the people in the ground, and again, being able to understand that it's not always what you would have thought was what people needed to hear. It's something that is super important for the scientific world and health authorities world. We need to understand also, we need to be clear about the fact that agreeing between scientists and agreeing between communication people and scientists is already super complicated. so building the communication messages is something super complicated. But we need to go the extra mile and to say, okay, we have a communication message, but maybe it's not the one that is needed by the population. So let's test and reframe and listen to what the population needs, so that we can have at the end a good communication and a good exchange and a mutual understanding that is often lost along the way of the travel of health information.
Definitely. So it may be related that like the key aspects of effective risk communication during public health emergencies. You can also share few facts and regarding this. The key aspects.
Yeah, the key things that you need to do is learn to only communicate on facts. Do not speculate. Be clear about the fact that when you don't know, it's better to say that you are looking at the answer and you are working on finding an answer to the question instead of guessing or creating an answer on the spot, because a journalist, for example, asks you the question. So beware of staying on facts and only communicating on what you know. And when you don't know, it does not mean that you need to stay quiet. It means that you need to be clear about with the population on where is the science. Science is clearly not moving at the same pace than communication today. So helping also people to better understand that we need time to really settle the science is important. All this to say that if you are not in a position of being able to listen to the needs and to exchange with the people with an already in place trust in the system, it will be complicated for you to go out of the crisis. And when you look at the COVID-19 crisis, some studies have shown that the countries where the health recommendation had the best impact or were more followed, and the situation was better, and where the country where the trust in the national authorities was higher. So it's really the variable that changed the situation was the trust in health authorities and in the national authorities. So it's really something in which we need to invest so that the population can have some resilience to misinformation and to politicize narratives also during a crisis.
Great, thanks. And if you share like some effective communication strategies that you implement for Olelu organization, if you share some of the strategies, communication strategies.
Communication strategies for who? For my clients or
Or
for?
for your how you communicate, like for Olelo,
Mhm.
if I said correctly, among your clients, among your clients mainly, so that they come to you and
Okay, let's be honest. I'm not the best at communicating on my own company. No, no. So you need to know also when you are not the best one. Uh, no, what I have the chance to have clients that were coming to me without being able without having to do lots of marketing. But what I'm trying to do is not to communicate a lot, but to communicate on interesting points for the audience. So it's not to speak about myself, it's more to, again, answer to questions of the people that are around, and it creates an interest in what you are sharing, in the content that you are sharing, high level content that you are sharing, which is not only about what you want to sell them, but which is mainly about what your expertise can bring to them. So I will say actually do marketing without doing marketing. Do content marketing. I think it's something that is super important. So I'm doing most of the time social media. And after it's more connections, networks, going to events, connecting with people, discussing with them. Your network, you're connecting with the humans. It's what will also help to have a business development that is going in the directions you want it to go. I'm talking about my company, which is a more consultant company. If you have a product to sell, it's something different. But I'm not the right person to speak about it.
yeah. Great. So you have a PhD. Uh,
I don't have. I have a DBM. I'm not a PhD person.
oh, okay. So you have like you have a doctoral degree in veterinary
Yeah.
medicine. Okay. So how? Sorry for my mistake. How this has been helping you in your like entrepreneurial journey?
Um, the doctor title is always interesting because it helps you to
Yeah.
have some credibility right away. It's not always easy to be recognized as credible as you are a veterinarian in a human health world or public health world, but we are going there with the One Health concept and better understanding today that all the healths are connected. But yeah, it helped me to have a basis of recognition. Also, as a woman, again, it gave me some credibility, which was not only about my gender, but more about what I was able to achieve with my brain. I think it's always good to clarify sometimes that our path as women is not easy, and you often need to show the extra mile of credibility compared to men, and so it helped me that way. I think what really helped me is the practice in the ground as a veterinarian, because you can't hide when you are in the field and you are in front of an animal which is here. You need to act and you need to take decisions. You need to take responsibilities very quickly. And when you are dealing with animals, you are also dealing with economical income for some animals, production animals, with emotions for pets. When you talk about horses, it's both of them. So you need to have to really take position and kind of affirmation of what you think, and it's kind of a CEO job, but in the field, because when you have a company, after you need to take decision and to make choices and to face the consequences of your bad choices and to pivot when you need to pivot. So it's what helped me actually. It's the practice in itself. The title helped for the interactions with others, with peers, and to create some respect, even if it's only a title. And what matters at the end, it's your skills and the way you are able to take decisions and to believe in yourself. So
Attitude is very important. So
right.
We are almost at the end of our session. So because your expertise is like huge, we have tried to share very brief some of your skills and journey. So as you have mentioned a few times that it's a noisy communication word. It's noisy. There's so many
Information
fake
environment.
and misinformation, and it's difficult to extract the right information, the right source. And for students, it is the same. Which what there's so many motivational speech. There's so many discussions. There are so many things that you have to have these, you have to have those. If you don't have this, you are not going to fit. But how. But the thing that you mentioned just now, the skills.
Mm-hmm.
This is very important.
The
So
skills of the attitude.
exactly. So in your opinion, what future skills will be crucial for young professionals to excel? If you share some of your advice with us.
Learning mindset for sure. We already talked about it, but it's very quick the way our world is developing. So you will need to continuously learn. And for example, in my case, the COVID-19 crisis was also a moment where all the scientific knowledge was shuffled, and because you are in a crisis, your brain is in crisis mode, so it is not able to think the same way than before, and there was a lot of uncertainty because it was a new virus. So all this, it shakes you, and if you are not able to accept that you don't know everything and that you need to go back to learning and to shaping new skills and improving skills, and but it's never the end of the journey of being, you are a student all your life actually. So that's also how you can learn. You can change your path, you can learn new way to work, learn, access new opportunities. It's by learning. So the first main skill will be this, and humility. I don't know if you can say that it's a skill, but I sometimes think that it's a skill. not very much used by a lot of person, but I think that's being humble and yeah, again, you know that you don't know. So listen to others and learn from others, and it's how we will be able also to do society at the end. So in your future, continue to learn, continue to be curious. Curiosity is the best, and being open-minded to the differences, because it's how you better understand what can bring you together and achieve achieve your objectives, or if you are in a public good journey, bring better health, for example, to the world. But it's a big objective. Does that answer your
Definitely.
question?
Yeah, definitely. And this is really important because like there's so many changes and
Mm,
advancement are coming
mm.
in upcoming years, and if we are not ready to accept, or if we are not update, if we don't update ourselves, like we will not be able to like adapt with these new changes, and will be left out of the benefits, or like wonderful inventions, or like the advancement of this universe. So this is very important, it's very important that you mentioned that we are a student of lifetime. So it never ends. So we should keep learning, and also it is important what to learn, because if I go and learn basic excels right now, it won't work. So I have to like
Be
choose
selective, yeah.
things. Exactly. So this is
Yeah.
also important. The students, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, and you need to also have a clear understanding of where you want to go. It's sometimes complicated, but try to create your line and know where you are going, and along the way, you will be able to update your skills. One last thing that I would like to add, we are in a world that is moving super quickly, in particular when you speak about communications and AI and things like that. But do not forget to help people to help your relatives, your family, or your friends, or people that you cross path with in your professional journey, to also update themselves and help them to follow the same journey, learning journey with you. Share your knowledge with younger people than you, so that these people can continue also to grow and to access to the moving world that we have together today. So it's bring people along with you. Don't do your journey alone, but create your crowd around you, and do not forget to transfer what you have learned to the others.
Yeah, if we want to go far, go together. So there is a problem like that. So thank you so much, Miss Catherine, for your
I hope it helped.
yeah, definitely your advice, your lessons. We try to always connect, like from the student life, the personal right now,
Mm,
lessons, skills, some advice. And it's very, because like the how it's also important how people think different in other countries. It's also
mm.
important to know. So it actually gives us an opportunity to learn, and like the mindset, the journey. So this is very important. So on behalf of School of Entrepreneurship Development, I would like to share a sincere gratitude towards you, and thank you so much, and very best wishes for your future endeavors.
Thank you, and the same for you. Keep me informed.
Yeah,
Okay.
great.
Thank
Thank you.
you,
Have
and
a good day.
congratulations for what you are doing.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.